Hello everybody. These are lessons 1 and 2 in music theory grades 1 to 3. There will be many lessons associated with these grades, and we're going to start with the first two, where there are 3 major topics covered. Time values, you can see on the 2 pages in front here, time values. Now I'm going to go over and show you the second topic, bars and time signatures. And then last page you have pulse, speed and rhythm. Now it's really important for you to study another paper before you have a go at this one. And the paper I'm referring to is the music reading and writing lessons 1 and 2. I've got that paper right next to me here. It has 4 pages. It's very important to have a go at this paper first because it contains information on notes, stable notes, as you can see, the treble and the bass clefs. It has information also, let me turn the pages, notes on the lines and in the spaces, middle C and ledger lines, and at the back we have the worksheet. There is a worksheet at the back of each lesson in music theory. So before you have a go at lessons 1 and 2 for theory grades 1 to 3, please study the music reading and writing lessons 1 and 2. And of course there's a video as well. You see here YouTube video, and there is the video here for this paper. So can I just go through a few bits and pieces about this particular paper? Now, time values, we start over here with a little introduction. Observe this piano extract and you will see that the notes look different in terms of whether they're colored in or they're not colored in, whether they have stems or they don't have stems, and all of those things relate to how long the notes last for. So this is mentioned over here. We're going to talk about in this paper the first 4 time values: semi-breve, minim, crotchet and quaver. There are more time values, as is mentioned on the second page here. We have 7 time values in total, but we're talking about the first 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Semi-breve, here we go. Minim, here we go. Crotchet, here we go. Quaver, here we go. And all the explanation is here with regards to how long each time value is. Now, I am saying here it's really important that we feel secure about our time values, because if we don't feel secure, we're not going to be able, obviously, to read our music properly and play our lovely pieces. So please, it's so important, so very important, I cannot stress this enough, to study this really hard and to be very confident with your time values. It will really make a huge difference to your playing. And over here there is a little explanation about how the time values work in terms of how do we start, what's the longest one, and how do we get to the next one, and how to the next one, and how to the next one. And the basic principle is we start with the longest one, which is 4 counts, the semi-breve over here, yes, 4 beats, and then we cut that in half and we get the next time value, which is a minim, and it is 2 beats. We cut this in half and we get the next time value, which is a crotchet, which is 1 beat, and we cut this one in half and we get the quaver, which is half a beat. So this is how it works in terms of how we start with the longest and going to the shortest time value. A nice explanation here, have a read this. It is showing you with the semi-breve 4 counts and how the minim and the crotchet and the quaver fit inside the semi-breve. It's a very nice little diagram there. Let's go to page 3. So page 3, I'm going to put it here. Bars and time signatures. I know this might sound a bit simple, but I'm telling you, it's so important to be clear about these things. It will give you loads of confidence. Please read this very, very carefully and a few times through. It is talking about what a bar is and what a time signature is. I'm showing you different time signatures here. Everything you need to know about the time signatures is written in the explanations over here. In a nutshell, the time signature of a piece tells us how many beats we should have in each bar. And a bar is the space between this little line and that little line. They're called bar lines. There you go, bar lines. And the space in between them is a bar. So over here, in this example, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. And all sorts of other information about this you can read here. A couple of important bits to add about bars and time signatures. Read this too, of course. We tend to put a little bit of an accent on the first beat of each bar, but please don't bang the first beat of the bar, okay? And also, it's worth noting that it is not necessary for a piece to have the same time signature throughout. A piece can have different time signatures within it, but if the time signature changes, then we must show that at the beginning of the bar where the time signature changes. If we go now to the 4th page, pulse, speed, tempo and rhythm. I'm explaining here that the word tempo is speed, but in Italian we tend to use a lot of Italian words in music, so I'm introducing tempo straight away so that we can learn our Italian slowly. And the pulse, the speed, the tempo and the rhythm, they are all three related to timing, but they mean different things. And I'm explaining here pulse, what it relates to, speed, tempo, what it relates to, and rhythm, what it relates to. These two examples are showing you pulse, tempo, and rhythm, pulse, tempo, and rhythm, and what the differences and the similarities are. So read through this very, very carefully and a few times through to try and get the difference between pulse, tempo, and rhythm. I will go through it very quickly because you have this to read anyway. The pulse is related to the time signature, so the number of beats that we have per bar. So if your time signature is 2/4, which means 2 beats in each bar, you are going to beat 1, 2 in each bar. 1, 2, next bar, 1, 2, next bar, 1, 2, next bar, 1, 2. So as you can see from the example that I gave you, the counts are absolutely even. The beats are absolutely even. This is your pulse. Your pulse cannot be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. No, the pulse has to be absolutely even, the beats of the pulse. 1, 2, 1, 2, like a clock. Tick, tock, tick, tock, or a heartbeat, yeah? Now, if we're talking about tempo, it has to do with a pulse, and it just has to do with how fast or slow the pulse is. So I'm going to do 2 beats per bar, and my pulse is going to be a slow pulse. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I'm going to do a moderate pulse. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I'm going to do a fast pulse. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And finally, the rhythm. The rhythm has to do with the time values of the notes that are within each bar. So if we look at, for example, this little extract here, which is from my favorite things, The Sound of Music, we see that, look here, you have crotchet, crotchet, crotchet. next bar, crotchet, 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 next bar, crotchet, crotchet, crotchet. So you can see that bar 1, bar 2, and bar 3 have exactly the same rhythm. What does that mean? Within this bar, our rhythm is crotchet, crotchet, crotchet. Within this bar, rhythm is crotchet, crotchet, crotchet. You understand? Now, if you look at this bar, which is bar 3, 1, 2, 3, bar 3, and you look at bar 4, the rhythm is different in bar 4 to bar 3. You see? Because the rhythm here is crotchet, 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 and the rhythm here is crotchet, crotchet, and then there is a rest. Okay, so this is a crotchet rest. We haven't talked about crotchet rests. A crotchet rest, very quickly, is when you don't play anything for as long as a crotchet lasts for. So you could argue and say, actually, well, if this is a crotchet, then this rhythm here is the same as this. Not entirely, because we're not actually playing anything here. And then over here you will see, in terms of the rhythm, can you see that the first bar we have a minim and then the crotchet, and in the second bar we have a different rhythm. We have crotchet, 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 and the third bar is different as well, and the fourth bar is different. So although the rhythm is different in each of these bars, the pulse is exactly the same. Let's see what the pulse is. Look here, 3, 4. The pulse is 3 beats in each bar. You will know all about time signatures when you read the beginning of the lesson. 3 beats in each bar. So I need to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. And we see that some notes have to last for 2 counts, and other notes have to last for 1, and other notes have to last for half, whatever. Nevertheless, the beat is exactly the same. The pulse is the same. So this is the difference between pulse, tempo, and rhythm. It's all explained here. Okay? Now, as I said at the beginning, please study the music reading and writing lessons 1 and 2, and also do the worksheet at the back of the lessons. I think I actually have them in separate documents. In any case, they are attached to each other. So YouTube video for that, and of course YouTube video for the lesson that we did just now, which is all about time values, bars and time signatures, and pulse, speed, and rhythm. And this is lessons 1 and 2, music theory grades 1 to 3. There's a worksheet as well. It has loads of questions and tasks. Remember, if you get stuck anywhere, move to the next question, and then to the next question. Go back to the one that you were having difficulty with, and then you might find that actually you're not stuck anymore. But if you still are, study again the lesson, and if you cannot find the answer to the question or complete the task, that is absolutely fine. Just write on the underneath the question that you were having difficulty, and when you send me back your worksheet, I will give you feedback and help you on how to overcome that particular issue. Okay, and don't forget, always have fun.